Oh yeah. What up, y'all? All right, so we on YouTube now. It's by King Prime. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure I check out this. What I did was I watched Whack 100 do his interview about the After Street comments that Young Thug, 21 Savage, and G Herbo said. And also I looked at FaZe Clan. They just broke up. So I looked at that. But I want to make sure I do. Now I want to look at this Nicki Minaj's video, right? Only because a lot of people have been talking about it, and it seems as though that she made some waves because people are now talking about people are now talking about what she's done. Um, and it's like she posted something crazy. She's like she said something crazy on the interview. So I want to know. So I'm gonna check it out with y'all right now, and I'm gonna have a poll in here. Should Nicki Minaj be deported? Because apparently people want her to be deported, man. And I'm shocked, man. I'm shocked. I'm shocked to really know what's going on. So we're gonna watch this together. Um, yeah, we're gonna watch this together. I really want to know what's happening, on what she did. Boom. So I got the video up. We're gonna start it.
This one is for the boys and the polos, entrepreneurs against in the mogos. Think about with the crew, he is so loud. But I think I like I better when he's out loud. And I think I like I better when I put the cap on. He ain't even gotta try to put the back on. You just gotta give me that look. When he give me that look, then the pretty's coming out. Excuse me, you're a hell of a guy. You know I really
Hi. Hello, how are you?
I want to hear the crazy stuff.
So those of you who know, Charlie was very good about having a surprise for every AmFest. And we are so blessed to have.
First of all, Charlie said, right? This is what Charlie said. Charlie said Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are bad influences on black women. That's what he said. This is his word. He said they're bad influences on black women. I don't know what she's trying to pull right now, but that's what he said, right? So I say that to say Nicki's in a winning situation right now. Nicki's in a situation where she gets to have positive influences on young girls. Not only black women, but other black or other women. So this is a win for Nicki just by sitting there, right? That's what I know. So this goes back to what he said, right? This immediately cuts what Charlie Kirk said previously. His wife gave her opportunity to do that. That's big, bro. Um, I don't know where all these people sitting at because I just want to see because I've seen no clips of anything like it's usually when people start bashing someone on social media, you then start to see clips of what they said, right? It's weird because I haven't seen no clips of what Nicki Minaj has said, and it's already been a couple days since this thing has gone on, right? So you would think you would see some clips. So I gotta come to this video and check it out, right? So let's see what
you. We are so grateful. I mean...
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I am honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Love you guys. So we're just gonna dive right into this. You had some fun words for Governor Newsom. I have to read these tweets because they're amazing and they are so funny. Okay, first one, we'll do this one. Unless you want to read it in your own voice. I think it'd be really great. Okay.
Oh, Gavy Poo, it only gets worse from here for you, buddy. It's the end of the road for you, my love. Get on the nearest jet ski and let that beautiful hair blow in the wind. It'll make you happier than this race that you will not win. Enjoy life. Peace.
Okay. One more.
Why not? Imagine being the guy running on wanting to see trans kids. Haha, not even a trans adult would run on that. Normal adults wake up and think they want to see healthy, safe, happy kids. Not Gav, the Gav-nots. Gav, not in, Gav out. Send in the next guy, I'm bored.
Why? Why can't I make any changes?
She made some comments on X. And yeah, I mean, that's her opinion of this guy. I ain't mad at it. Are you? I really want to know what's the whole thing. I want to know. I want to make sure like I'm not missing on anything. So, yeah, let's just see what. Because all right, I'm out of there. So let's see what.
So I'm just gonna let you riff. Like, I want you to say whatever you want to say to Mr. Newsom.
Dear Newscum, we don't have a problem cleaning up the scum if we have to. Please tread lightly. That's what I would say to Gavy Poo.
So with regard to the current administration, what has been maybe the biggest surprise for you or something that you just really has been put on your heart that you've learned about our president and our vice president?
Well, I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president.
Go to the website and learn with
He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. He's from Queens, New York, like me.
He is from Queens.
So, but what it's shown me personally is sometimes, you know, even in the worst feeling times in your life, you think that you're never gonna come back from it, but you do. And our president shows that. He's been through every single thing a person could be through publicly. Having to constantly be lied on. It's not really that funny. Until you are in that person's shoes that's being lied on, you'll never understand what it feels like. That person is a human being. They have a family who has to read those lies. And that's not, and it's just not fair. But this administration is full of people with heart and soul. And they make me proud of them. Our vice president, he makes me, well, I love both of them, but they're both powerful men, smart, strong, all of that, but both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to. I can relate to them. When I hear them speak, I know that they're one of us. Like, I know that they're not, don't you guys agree? They haven't lost touch of the world. You know, they're still connected to the world and what's happening in the world, with the younger people and older people, with the richer people and not so rich people. They have the ability to still connect and be real and make us feel proud to be American.
Listen, it's called Connect Team, and it's insane.
think,
I don't do schedules or timesheets, Matt.
She not saying nothing wrong, man. Like, damn, like she. All right, well, I ain't get to the part yet, then I guess, because I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean, nah, she ain't saying nothing wrong yet. So let's see what.
So why now have you been involved with speaking about politics? What was kind of the turning point for you? Yeah.
What was the turning point? Well, I just got tired of being pushed around. Sometimes you just get tired of it, and then you realize, wait a minute, I have something inside of me that's stronger than what's out there. That's right. So when you've had enough, you realize, wait a minute, why do I even care about these people and what they think? Who are they? They don't even know who they are. So I'm not going to back down anymore. I'm not going to back down ever again.
Amen. Can the students in the room raise your hand? Wow. This question is for you guys. So you guys are very courageous and bold on your campus. Nicki, I know our students feel this way, but why do you think speaking your mind has become so controversial?
Because people no longer are using their minds, their brains. So right now, just imagine, we're not allowed to have a different opinion anymore. We're not allowed to think out loud anymore. We're not, this is not what the world used to feel like. And especially for the young people, I don't want them growing up in a world where they feel like that. I mean, they deserve for their voices to be heard. They have valid feelings and they're thinking about things, and it deserves attention. You know, we should listen to what they're saying. And if you're growing up in a world that tells you it's taboo to say something that the masses don't agree with, that's not okay. And we're not gonna have it. And I love this. You know, it's giving the younger people confidence that they will need later on in life. You guys will need it, and you will have it. So I'm rooting for you.
Amen. Amen.
What if you can create your own website?
Yeah. Hey man, I hope this diabolical, like, whatever she said is coming up.
Again, Charlie would always say, it really does not take skill to be courageous. It takes a choice. It takes a decision. And I want to say again, thank you for coming and being courageous and being able to share your heart with us. And the reason why that also holds true sentiment-wise is because I know that you are getting a lot of backlash from your own industry. What is your reaction to that?
I didn't notice.
Amen. I feel the same way. When people are like, what do you think about them? I'm like, I don't think about them.
Bingo. We don't even think about them.
We don't have time to. We're too busy building, right?
Yeah, we're the cool kids.
Okay.
The other people, they're the ones who are still just disgruntled, but really they're just disgruntled with themselves. They are angry with themselves, you guys. So you can't wake up and think about somebody who is determined to just stay mad. I literally tell them, stay mad.
Amen.
Stay mad. Because we're going to stay joyful and peaceful and iconic and smart. And we're going to stay thinkers.
She get me out of game.
In a world that doesn't want us to think, we will think. By ourselves, on our own. We will continue to think.
This is something I know that's really important to you and on your heart. And I personally want to know what inspired you to speak out for the Christians that are being slaughtered in Nigeria.
Well, and that brings me back to our great president and this administration and our great country. That we take for granted that there, right now in this world, are people who cannot worship God as they please, where they please. We take it for granted because we have it.
Yeah, I forget, bro. I'm gonna just say this: Nicki is a mama, bro, of a son. She want her son to have whatever he want in the future, bro. Bro, you know this man gonna be able to do whatever the hell he gonna want to do since his mama did this, bro. Like, I don't think y'all understand, bro. She planting the seed, bro, and doing a good job.
We can't even imagine not having that right. But every time we pray and fellowship, we have to remember the people that are right now in this world hiding to pray and fellowship. And we have to pray for them. And first of all, Nigeria is a place I've always loved. Someone very dear to me, my pastor, is Nigerian. I have lots of Nigerian barbs. And so hearing that people are being kidnapped, and while they're in church, people are being kidnapped, people are being killed, brutalized, all because of their religion. And that should spark outrage in the great America. And that's what it did. And again, we're not backing down anymore. We are not going to be silenced by the bullies anymore, okay? Know that. Hear that. Receive that, bullies. We won't be silenced ever again. We will speak up for Christians wherever they are in this world. Amen.
Amen. I don't know if you can see this at home, but she is getting a ton of standing ovations.
I love you guys so much. Thank you guys.
Imagine being able to build anything.
I'm not so far, bro. I don't understand why people making petitions. But, 15,000 people signed the petition. Not really nothing, bro, if you really think about it. But
thread, can you tell us about your relationship with God? Because I think a lot of us want to hear.
Sure.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, my relationship with God started, well, when I was a toddler in Trinidad. My grandmother, if things got spicy in the house, like if the kids and grandkids were arguing or fighting, she would make all the little kids go in her room and make us say and say a prayer. So later on in my life, well, not much later, when I was like 10, 11, 12, I started going to church in New York. And it changed everything. It changed my life for the better because I was going every week. I was hearing the word of God be preached. And then I was going home and I was applying it to my life. Even as a little girl, I learned how to pray very early. I always had this faith that made people think, you know, the kind of faith that you think a person is crazy, like, oh, please, like, you know. But I had that faith instinctively once I started hearing about God and, you know, just getting more into the Bible. I got baptized when I was about, yep, amen. I got baptized when I was about 13. I got baptized. And I have just always applied those teachings to my life. I try to. And that's the thing. We're not perfect. We try. Sometimes I would wake up and feel so far removed from, not God, but from fellowship. You know, I was like, oh my God, I used to go to church on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday every week, like literally 3 days out of the week. And then later on in your life, you become busy and you start thinking, oh, well, you know, God is in my heart and, you know, but then sometimes you can be in an industry as well that pulls you away even more. So lately, I've been feeling like, you know, like if you haven't seen a long-lost best friend for, you know, for a long time and then you bump into them again, that's how it's been feeling for me, like just going back to God and praying and talking to him. And you know, and he said to me, where were you? Where have you been? I've been waiting on you. And since that moment that God had that conversation with me, I've been in such a better space because now it's just, I'm thinking about, is God pleased with this? Not if the bullies and uglies are pleased. But if God is pleased, and when you have that personal relationship with God, guess what? Even in school, he's there.
She dropping a lot of metaphors, a lot of soul, like spirit work on y'all head top. She actually dropping like faith and like how to navigate faith within yourself, stuff like. How can y'all be mad at this? Yo, what is the world coming to when people are? I'm still waiting for the bad bars, man. I'm still waiting for something that hit the fan. Let's go.
Wherever you are and whenever you need it, you have something that you can tap into immediately. It's immediate. You don't have to leave a message. He's not going to call you back. He's there immediately. As soon as you call on him, on the first ring, he's going to answer. And I want you guys to remember that. You're young, and first of all, I want to say, I'm proud of you guys. This is a major, to be so young, for you guys that are in college, to be so young and to care this much, this early in your life, it tells us how smart you are, and it tells us that there's hope for our future. So God bless you. Congratulations, you guys. You're amazing. Congratulations, you guys are amazing, okay? Know it, feel it. Yes, yes. Proudly, be it proudly. Be who you are proudly.
I'm grateful for many things and talk.
Yo, man, I don't know what people been talking about. XO Love, what's up, man? I see you in here. I don't know what people really been talking about when it comes to the hate towards Nicki. Man, this I'm halfway into this video, right? The full discussion, which lasted about 30 minutes. And she's saying nothing but like good things. Like she didn't down anyone except for the guy she was talking about earlier, for her own good reason. You know, which if you care about that, then hell, then you tripping because people can have their opinion. So, but everything else, she's constantly aware. She's explaining her Christianity, explaining her faith. Y'all motherfuckers tripping. But let me see. I might be getting to the part. We might come on. Let's see what's happening.
So, what have you? I mean, you're an amazing mother. What have you seen that has been a struggle for young women today? And then also, since both of us have little boys, I would love for you to also talk about the male side of that question as well.
Okay, well, something that I've noticed recently is that for little girls,
she said she was an amazing mother. I mean, they know each other personally, right? So that's why I said she better say thank you, because that's big, bro. That's big. Nicki don't got no daughter. She got a son. Nicki can still do her. Feel me? So, and she married, bro. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God.
I think that no matter how you look, we should be trying to instill into them to be proud of how they look. Recently, in the media, it's almost been like a push to, it's not just making young Black children feel proud of themselves, but it's almost like doing that and at the same time telling other children not to be proud of themselves. And I don't want any child feeling that way. If as Black women, we felt that we were not being represented and not being admired for our beauty, if we felt like that as Black women, why would we want to do that to other women? Amen. Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty so that we can feel, no, that's not how it works. I don't need someone with blonde hair and blue eyes to downplay their beauty because I know my beauty. Do you understand? It doesn't bother me that a woman feels and says that she's beautiful. Why shouldn't she feel that? Why have we gotten to a point where certain colors or certain kinds of people have to be afraid of loving themselves and loving the way they look? Like, isn't that wild? And so for little girls, I don't want what was done to little Black girls done to little white girls. I don't want it done to any girls. I want all the little girls in the world to know that you are unique, you are beautiful, you are you, and you can compliment another girl, you can compliment another woman and still know that you are epic and amazing. So that's what I would say for the girls. And I know I know my adults understand clearly where I'm going with that, where I'm getting, I don't like that. I don't like people making other people feel badly about themselves in any way. We need to nurture young girls. Yes, whether they are black, white, Asian, Hispanic, they still need to be nurtured. They cannot continue to pay for other people's sins. They haven't done anything wrong.
Amen.
Your workflow is important to us.
Where's the disrespect? Where's the bro? Where's the reason for the petition? I want to know, man. It can't be the last few minutes. Come on, let's see. Let's see.
And what do you think about for young men? For young men.
And for young men, don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing...
All right, I see where y'all, I see what y'all talking about, right? She's a woman, she's entitled to her opinion on that topic, right? I can't say nothing about that. Other women can, and I see where y'all mess up. That was it? Okay. I want to know if that wasn't it. But I see why they mad. That one comment right there. She just being nice, bro. She's being a powerful woman with influence. And also, she's being Nicki Minaj, who is heavily hated on. She's gonna troll y'all. She's gonna troll y'all. That's what you don't get. She's going to troll y'all, bro. Let's go.
Amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
Oh, shit. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Did she just say that, bro? But she was talking about, but she's the assassin, though. Oh, my God. Okay. I see what y'all talking about. No, she didn't hit the Trump is handsome and the assassin. And she said it with a pause, my boy. Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying, though. Hold on. Think about this, right? Nah, hold on. Let me show y'all niggas, because y'all don't get it, bro. Hold on. Y'all don't get it. Let me go ahead and, hold on. Which one is it? Right here. Y'all don't get it, bro. It's a win for her to sit there, right? But check it out.
By any chance, did you get to catch Nicki Minaj?
Yeah.
Sitting down with Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika?
Yeah.
At this Turning Point USA event?
Yeah, I did.
I mean...
Charlie wasn't even one of there to begin with, though.
Wow.
After what he said, he was doing one of those little sit-down things, and he talked about what he felt about Nicki and Cardi.
Right now, black culture is being held captive by influences, songs, and role models. I mean, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Hold on a second. I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't.
You know, it's for degenerates. Degenerate culture, breeding a degenerate culture for young women. You know, he wouldn't want her there to begin with. But like we know,
powerful.
They do anything for a check, though. Anything for, I don't know what they paid her, but I mean, Turning Point is not a cheap organization. They bring in hundreds of millions, tens of millions. I know she got a good bag to sit there and lie the way that she did and act like she didn't know what.
To lie? How she did? Yo, what is she? Okay, to lie, to say that Trump was handsome. That was the only lie I heard. That was the only lie I heard so far. Continue.
Charlie has said about her before.
Hold on, before you pay
That
for
was the
yet
only
another app.
lie that I heard. She said Trump was handsome. She's being nice, right? She has to, right? So that was it.
There and a lot of ways that she did, and act like she didn't know what Charlie had said about her before.
Of course, she know. That's why she just okay. That's why she just said the assassin thing. By the way, she know what he said, but she knows she came to get the bag. So she gonna prove Charlie wrong, and also speak her mind. That's what Erika messed up at. Now, let's continue.
So, do you think it was as simple as the bag?
That's all it was. I don't think if she believes anything, this is my opinion. I think that if she believes anything, it may be about the Christians being slaughtered, in Africa and prosecuted.
Hold on. He said maybe. So you don't think she Christian? You don't think she got faith? That's really what all she was talking about. From hearing what she said, I understand and feel like she was telling the truth about that. Thank you. She has faith. She's a Christian. She's a married woman with one child. How can you even take her out of that? How can you even take her out of that? I'm confused.
In Africa, I think she might stand for that. Everything else out her mouth, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
She went at it. First and foremost, before I go there, she was gushing damn near. Like her praise for President Trump was next level.
Yep.
I gotta hear the rest. Hold on. We're gonna go back. I gotta hear the rest because let's see if she continued. This right here, that was crazy. But I'm looking at her face, and she's like, yeah, I know what he said about me. That's what she said. Assassin, pros. That's a bar right there. But look, that's not funny. It's not funny though. You know what I'm saying? So if you get in my comments, it's not funny, right? But you gotta understand like who she is. She's a rapper, bro. She's a rapper. She is a master at ego display. Master. You feel me? So that right there was a master class real quick. I'm gonna play it back though. Cause that was hard bar.
Don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that...
Look at Erika. Oh, yep. Oh, she just realized what she said. She's nice.
Trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine.
She said she's fine.
Yes, we did.
We know what you meant. Look at that, nigga.
You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord. And words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. I will not judge that.
Sister. Thank you.
When do you, bro? Bro, she knows this girl. She knows her heart. She said it. What she just said previously, she directed it at somebody. It was kind of insensitive because her husband just died from an assassin kill. But Erika knows what she means when she said that towards the guy who she was talking to. And there she goes. She dials it back for her. I love to see it. I know a lot of people don't like Erika right now. We're going to go into that too. But I love to see what she just did. She just helped her dial it back. And Nicki even noticed that it was a little bit insensitive too, man. So it's not like she was being insensitive. She was just expressing herself.
But boys, be boys.
Amen.
Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. It's nothing wrong with being a boy.
Amen.
How about that?
Amen.
How powerful is that? How profound is that?
Amen.
Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
What's something the media and the world in general misunderstands about you?
Oh, I think people think maybe that I'm mean, or, maybe when you have a strong presence as a woman, it's easy to just box you into one box, like one category of mean or, other words.
They want to put you in a box to be able to label you what they want you to be, but you're so much more than that.
Because you intimidate them, and they want to find something. And if they can't find something, they'll make something up.
They will.
And so they'll put a label on you. But, it doesn't, what people misunderstand about me now, I don't care about it. I really don't. In fact, I love that they misunderstand me now.
I do too, because it shows that you're not a part of this world. Someone once told me, do not be surprised when the world acts like the world. And I held on to that so much, because even being in this role now, they're trying to figure me out. Okay, enjoy. I am who I am. There's nothing to hide. And I know you feel the same way when people misunderstand you, and you're like, okay, well, I have an audience of one. Well, now I have an audience of two, but I have an audience in heaven, and I know the Lord knows me, Lord knows you, and he put everything in you to be able to make a difference in this world, likewise to all of you students and everyone else here. And to go into that further, I know that and I'll end on this, I know that a lot of you guys have been hearing about, we are doing this for Charlie, and we're doing this for his legacy, but we're also doing it because each and every one of you guys have a legacy. And I want you guys, when you leave this conference, to take something with you. And when it gets tough out there, I want you to hold with you a word. It could be anything. For me, it's Charlie. But for you guys, it could be, I don't know, refocus, family, children, future, something. Hold that word in your heart so that when you go back out into the world and you have someone screaming in your face, someone spitting in your face, someone flipping your table on campus, someone making fun of you because you're a conservative, someone making fun of you because you love the Lord, say that word to yourself out loud or internally to refocus your brain and your heart and your soul, to know that you're about something so much bigger and greater. The legacy with Turning Point USA, yes, but also for yourself. And so, Nicki, I want to ask you in closing, what is something that you want to leave as a legacy in this world for your family, for your baby, for just everything?
I dare you to let me.
Man, this is the closing conversation, so hopefully there's something more. With that in between part, Erika just dialed it back, so she didn't feel like Nicki was jabbing her at all. And when you play it all out, I understand Nicki didn't realize that, that word could have been, a little insensitive, and she, covered her mouth. She was like, "Dang, I'm just talking. I didn't even realize assassin, Charlie Kirk, blah blah." So I don't see how that's the reason why people are talking about deporting Nicki after this, right? I'm still trying to see. Let's see what she say last. Let's see. Get it together.
That it's okay to change your mind. Yeah. It's okay to change your mind. You don't have to, you know, sometimes there's a lot of things projected onto you when you change your own mind. You know, they project fear, shame onto people who don't think and do as they think and do. But I've traveled the world. I've performed for huge crowds all around the world. And no matter how many songs I do on that stage, it didn't mean as much as this. Because this is a direct link for younger people. This is a direct link between young people and God. And there's been a lack of that. There's been a lack of that in our media, in our...
Bruh. All these people who talking about Nicki should be deported are devilish, bro. They're all devilish, bro. What? Let me continue, bro.
Everyday conversations. People have been, you know, interestingly enough, people have been, even Christians have been being persecuted right here in our country in different ways. So when we talk about Nigeria and other countries, know that prior administrations saw nothing wrong with that. And that's what was wrong with them. I truly feel that there are people out there who felt good about chastising Christians right here in our country. And it's kind of really, really sick. We can't let people like that be in power, you guys. That's the truth. I can sugarcoat it and laugh and kiki, but the truth is, I am here today to tell you guys that. We absolutely cannot let people who have a problem with us worshiping God, we cannot have them in power. We cannot have them in power. All you have to do is look at what is happening in other places in the world. Look at what is being done to Christians all around the world.
We have got to the point where literally...
Bro, I swear, I'm trying to find this thing where they...
And ask yourself why people in this country that were in positions of power felt so comfortable to try to take our voices from us. They were that afraid, they are that intimidated, they are that insecure, they are that small inside that hearing us and seeing us worship God irritated them. Our spirit irritates them because when we...
That's literally what I'm thinking. People are making these send her back to Trinidad things for now at this point. I've watched this whole video and she wasn't not doing nothing but talking about the Lord. Throughout the majority of the video is her talking about her faith. And then she made a little slip up. Miss Kirk dialed it back and it was mature about it and said continue. And
speak, they get shown up. When the truth walks in the room, the lies hide. They don't come out willingly. You gotta pry it out of them.
Let's go.
They hide.
Talk to him.
Because they don't want you or anyone to know who they really are behind closed doors. Because even they know how evil it is to try to deprive people of worshiping God.
Come on.
Amen.
Come on.
We love you. Nicki Minaj.
Thank you, guys. My darling, thank you for having me.
Man, don't believe what you hear on social media, man. What the hell? This was a beautiful, beautiful interview. I am shocked that how beautiful this interview was and how bad people are really hating on Nicki. This makes me think, like, you know, she could do big things. I ain't even gonna say what I'm thinking, but she can do big things. She can do big things. I'm gonna take a little break, y'all, but I'm gonna keep it going after I take my little break. But beautiful video. Shout out Nicki, man. Shout out Nicki. Let's get y'all dancing.
Welcome to the Get Your Freak On Hotel.
How much for a room?
It's $10 a minute. But you look like a $5 brother.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Want me, and I'ma give you some attention tonight. Now follow my intuitions, what you wishing. See, I'ma keep you up all night for a long time. So start counting away. Wake me up, show me what you got, 'cause I don't want no 1 minute man. Wake me up, show me what you got, 'cause I don't want no 1 minute man. Wake me up, show me what you got, 'cause I don't want no 1 minute man. Wake me up, show me what you got, 'cause I don't want no. Tonight I'ma give it to you, throw it to you. I want you to come prepared. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Boy, it's been a long time, a crazy long time, and I don't want no minute man, and that's real. Give it to me some more. Wake me up, show me what you got, 'cause I don't want no 1 minute man. Wake me up, show me what you got, 'cause I don't want no 1 minute man. Wake me up, show me what you got, 'cause I don't want no 1 minute man. Wake me up, show me what you got, 'cause I don't want no.
It's time to set your clock back about as long as you can. I stop daylight, it's Ludacris, the maintenance man. Get your oil changed, I check fluids and transmission. You 1 minute fools, you wonder why y'all missing. On the back of milk cartons and it's no rewards, no regards. Close, but it's no cigar. A hard head make a soft, but it make the sex last. I jump in pools and make a big splash. Water overflowing, so get your right. It's all in your pump, so keep your tight. Enough with tips and advice and things. I'm big dog, having women seeing stripes and things. They go to sleep, start snoring, counting sheep. They so that they body start to. 'Cause I'm an all-nighter, shoot all fire. Ludacris, balance and rotate all tires.
Lil' mama ain't with that quick. You better break me off stiff tongue. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Hell, not to please me, you gotta sleep in it. I see you talk a good game and you play hard, but if I put this thing on you, can you stay? If not, you better keep your day job. I'm looking for a man to make me say God. I'm off glass and you know this. I work your ass out like a aerobic, so baby stay focused. Start off slow and then speed it up. Baby, show me what you got. Is you a G or what? If you can't beat it up, then it up. Put a cherry on top, whip cream it up.
Women come in the spot, them one jock. Them that's the boy looking around with. Them girls be plotting on how to get the rocks. So I beat that to the ground like I'm the cops. What they gon' say? Don't wanna play when I'm in the club. When I'm in my ride, people walking by my side in case them one try. What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Shop your new mattress your way at Ashley. Browse our wide selection online from the comfort of your home, or come in and see what feels good at one of our conveniently located stores. Shop Ashley in-store or online.
It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step two, step two, step two, step two, step two, step two. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step two, step two, step two, step two, step two. Picky, baby girl.
What would you do to get to me? What would you say to have your way? Would you give up or try again? If I hesitate to let you in, now would you be yourself or play a role? Tell all the boys or keep it low. If I say no, would you turn away or play me off, or would you stay? Oh, first you don't succeed. Dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. 'Cause if at first you don't succeed, you can dust it off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again. I'm into you, you into me, but I can't let it go so easily. Not till I see what this could be eternity or just a week. We know our chemistry is off the chain. It's perfect now, but will it change? This ain't a yes, this ain't a no. Just do your thing, we'll see how it goes. Oh, first you don't succeed. Yeah. Dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. First you don't succeed. You can dust it off and try again, try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again. You don't wanna throw it all away. I might be shy on the first day. What about the next day? I said you don't wanna throw it all away. Might be bugging on the first day. What about the next day? And if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. 'Cause if at first you don't succeed, you can dust it off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again, try again.
to me. You wanna get with me with no money? Oh no, I don't want no.
Expand my horizons. Then it leaves you in a class with scrubs, never rising. I don't find it surprising if you don't have the G's to please me and bounce from here to the coast of overseas. So, let me give you something to think about. Inundate your mind with intentions to turn you out. Can't forget to focus on the picture in front of me. Do it clear as DVD on digital TV screens. Satisfy my appetite with something spectacular. Check your vernacular, and then I get back to ya. With diamond-like precision, insatiable is what I envision. Can't detect acquisition from your friend's expedition. Mr. Big Willie, if you really wanna know, ask Chili. Could I be a silly hoe? Not really. T-bars and all my senoritas and stepping on your felines, but you don't hit me though. No, I don't want no scrub. The scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. The scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. The scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me.
Yo, drop your glasses, shake it. Face screwed up like you having hot flashes. Which one? Pick one. This one classic. Red from blind, yeah. I'm drastic. Why this? Why that? Lip stop asking. Listen to me, baby, relax and start passing. Expressway, head back, weaving through the traffic. This one strong should be labeled as a hazard. Some of y'all hot psych, I'm gassing. Clowns, I spot them and I can't stop laughing. Easy come, easy go, Evie gon' be lasting. Jealousy, let it go, results could be tragic. Some of y'all ain't right, well, too concerned with fashion. None of you ain't Giselle, can't walk and imagine. A lot of y'all Hollywood drama, cast it, cut camera off, real blasted.
I had to give you more. It's only been a year. Now I got my foot through the door, and I ain't going nowhere. It took a while to get me, and I'm gonna take my time. Don't fight that when you're in. Now let me blow your mind.
They ought to thank her, rank her, make speakers bleed. Shank her, haters wanna come after me. You ain't a gangster, prankster, too much TV. Snakes in my path, wanna stop up at me. Now while you gritting your teeth, frustration, baby, you got to breathe. Take a lot more than you to get rid of me. You see, I do what they can't do, I just do me. Ain't no stress when it comes to stage, get what you see. Meet me in the lab, pen and pad, don't believe. 16's mine, create my own lines. Love for my wordplay, that's hard to find. Sophomore, I ain't scared, one of a kind. All I do is contemplate ways to make your fans mine. Eyes bloodshot, stress and chills up your spine. Sick to your stomach, wishing I wrote your rhymes.
I had to give you more. It's only been a year. It's so silly of me to act like I don't need you back. When all I can think about is us since I've seen you last.
didn't have to walk away. All I had to do was ask for space. I'm telling you, be on your way. When I told you to fall back, so can you come pick up your clothes? I had them folded. Meet me at the door while it's still open. I know it's getting cold out, but it's not frozen. So come pick up your clothes. I had them folded. I'll let your body decide if this is good enough for you. Already folding it for you. Already folding it for you. I'll let your body decide if this is good enough for you. Already folding it for you. Already folding it for you.
Oh baby, I'll let your body decide if I should slide tonight. What's a good time tonight? If you're talking about clothes, girl, them clothes the only thing dry tonight. And you got them folded for me, laid out on the sofa for me. Wouldn't do that for no one before me, no. No, some things ain't the same. Ain't nobody to blame. Tell me, just tell me, baby, you wait for me. Hate it turned out this way. If you wanted to change, I'll come pick up my clothes.
Done with love, not folding for anyone. Cause I spent my 20s on some guys who just weren't the one. Somehow with you I forgot all my rules. You made me feel safe. The fabric softer on the sheets when we laid in the bed where we made love, and there's no so can you come pick up your clothes? I had them folded. Meet me at the door while it's still open. I know it's getting cold out, but it's not frozen. So come pick up your clothes. I had them folded. I'll let your body decide if this is good enough for you. Already folding it for you. Already folding it for you. I'll let your body decide if this is good enough for you. Already folding it for you. Already folding it for you.
Girl, it's sad that your man don't know what time it is. Everything that we said, everything made us more than friends. Hey, girl, you know that nigga not it. My tears on my pillow, talking about how that nigga not shit. Made your emotions, fucked up your heart and left you toxic. He go calling again. Tell him come pick his clothes up. All you wanted was flowers, but did that nigga show up? Put your heart back together and then I picked your soul up. It was just a matter of time till they had them folded up. Tell him come pick up his clothes.
I had them folded. Meet me at the door while it's still open. I know it's getting cold out.
I don't give a fuck if it's frozen. So can you please pick up your phone? Your heart's been broken. I'll take all the blame. I can't keep going. I hate how we've been so proud, but whose love is perfect? So please pick up your phone. Your heart's been broken. We got a lot to decide. Not really good enough for you. Really good enough for you. Really good enough for you. You got a lot to decide. Think I'm good enough for you? Am I good enough for you? Is it too late for you? No matter what you say on your interviews, I know the truth. Saying that I take care of mine is the craziest part. Crazy part. Flexing like I left you. You packed it up, no, I wouldn't get no action in my bedroom. Said you was a wife, you know I got needs and want you're assigned to. Can't you go back to loving me like when we had started? Can we forgive and all the
the bullshit or be forgotten. Been in a war of love. So if you wanna fix some things, I'll be waiting on.
So can you come pick up your clothes? I haven't folded. Meet me at the
Come on, Brandy. Sing that shit. Yo. It's not frozen, baby. Yo. All right, y'all. Look, we back. So, what we just went through was Nicki Minaj's full interview, as well as Wack 100, his take on the After Streets that's been going on with Young Thug and 21. And we also went over what FaZe Clan has just gone through. They just separated. And those members are going to be doing their own thing, right? So now what I'm going to look at is what's been happening with Erika, Kirk, and Candace Owens. This was about 2 weeks ago, and I've been hearing a lot about it, so I wanted to check it out for myself and see what's going on. Now, these videos are like probably like an hour a piece. I am not about to go through every one of the videos. I want to hear just the meat of it all, right? Then I'm gonna just move on. So we'll do that. First things first.
And that all these Egyptian planes were flying around tracking Charlie Kirk and Turning Point and Erika Kirk. Why? What is your theory?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what's your theory then? You must have an idea.
My theory is that we should investigate everything strange that happened on that day so we can figure out what happened. The difference between me and you is that I have the courage to take the risks and ask the questions first, okay, before it's popular. You wait until it becomes popular and then you change your mind. Stop.
And she made no request of you whatsoever, Erika Kirk, in 4.5 hours. Well, no matter what your opinion is about Candace Owens, and very few people don't seem to have one, she has a definite...
Imagine being able to build an app.
Boy, Piers, huh? Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan going down there and seeing what's happening, man.
She joins me now for her first interview since the meeting with Erika Kirk. Candace Owens, welcome back to Uncensored.
It's good to be with you at the end of another year.
Yes, and what a year it's been, not least for you. It's fair to say your fame continues to rise, infamy, some would put it. But you're always a welcome guest on Uncensored. Let's get to this extraordinary meeting that you had with Erika Kirk. It came right after we saw her say in that CBS town hall, you should just stop with the conspiracy theories. So who approached who about you guys actually getting together?
I was approached by Turning Point after Blake Neff, who works on Charlie's show, sort of fumbled this invite. It was, I'd almost say it was a fake invite publicly. And then in the middle of the night said, oh, Candace is not able to be here tomorrow. And they never messaged me. And I think there was quite a bit of public backlash with how they went about it. It just was just not the way that we try to set meetings. And so what happened after was they reached out to me, said Erika would agree to do a live stream, just the two of us. And then after Erika's PR blitz, they reached out again and said that they felt that it was better for us to meet one-on-one, as opposed to us sitting down having Megyn Kelly moderate, which was the idea originally.
Right. And so where did you have your summit meeting?
At a hotel here in Nashville.
And a lot of your supporters, fans of your show, think that you may have been lured into a trap. Did anything while you were there make you think you were being lured into a trap?
What?
I don't know that a lot of my fans think that I was being lured into a trap. I think ahead of time they had some concerns, obviously, because I think in general, after you see a public assassination and you start tracking so many lies that are happening, there's going to be an understandable amount of angst that people feel. And I certainly felt the angst as well. I've obviously been very clear that I am suspicious of some of the characters that are at Turning Point USA. So I totally understand why the public was concerned.
Turning Point USA is the company behind the interview that we just did with or saw with Nicki Minaj and Erika Kirk. So Candace Owens is suspicious of them in a whole, and I'm sure she'll go into detail a bit or so about why.
When you saw Erika, she was obviously angry about you in that CBS town hall. What was her demeanor like when you met her?
Well, I don't think that she thought she was angry in that. I think maybe that was the characterization from the public. I certainly thought she was angry as well. And she sort of clarified that she was a bit annoyed by the questioning, the way in which Barry had set up the question with the podcaster Candace Owens, which I think was definitely being driven more by Barry Weiss's feelings towards me, long-running feelings towards me, than it was perhaps for the benefit of CBS and trying to pretend to be an impartial journalist. So I think she was frustrated by the line of questioning, is what she explained to me.
So how would you categorize the 4.5 hours? If you were looking at it in totality, what was the tone of the conversation? What do you think you both got out of it?
Well, for me, answers to the questions of trying to understand why there were so many Turning Point lies and why instead of people acknowledging that these are lies, I felt that there was this billion-dollar psychological operation to convince people that Candace is just crazy. These aren't lies. These are made up. And so I was very refreshed that they owned up to the lies. That was a great first step. And I think, you know, what motivates that? Maybe because despite having what I would assume to be the best PR agents and crisis PR agents in the world, we're moving toward a different world where people don't really care. You know, if you are friends with the people at, what is it, WME and CAA and what they can do for you, that sort of power is ineffectual in this day and age. And so I think they recognize that, and that the public simply doesn't believe the story that they've been fed, and the psychological operation to convince us not to believe our own eyes or to trust our common sense instincts has failed. Okay, and I think on their end, they got more clarity on how I figured out certain things, more clarity on why I am convinced that there are people that are inside of Turning Point that are dirty. And I was able to share more with them off record. And I think that they got more clarity in exchange.
Before we get into some of the sort of specifics, is there not a danger here? I've already seen it in some of the reaction from people that follow your show. Is there not a danger that in seeking to be the one that exposes the truth, and I don't know the truth about what happened to Charlie Kirk. I work on the assumption that this lone, twisted weirdo Tyler Robinson killed him for whatever reason, and I suspect personally that is how this will play out. However, I have an open mind in the sense that we still don't really know what happened with President Kennedy's assassination. I found the attempted assassination of Donald Trump very odd in the way that that's been handled by the authorities and so on. I'm not naive. As a journalist of 40 years, I'm not naive enough to say every single thing you've been saying is obviously baloney, because I don't know. And we'll get to some of the more specific details. But is there not a danger, Candace, that by having a 4.5-hour private meeting, rather than doing it in public, that all you're really going to do, collectively, actually, you and Erika Kirk, is fuel the conspiracy theories about what you may or may not have discussed in that meeting, what part of the stuff that you've been broadcasting on your show she agrees with and doesn't agree with, and so on. Is there not a danger this is the least transparent way of going about trying to get solutions here?
Well, I'm a very transparent person, so my preference was to do it publicly, but I took the offer, obviously, to have any conversation, because if I hadn't done that, then I think everything I'm in doing would have appeared disingenuous. Like, oh, Candace is pretending that she wants answers to her questions, but when she got this offer, she suddenly said she didn't want to go because it wasn't public. They would have felt like I was moving the goalpost. So I was willing to take anything. And from their viewpoint, they felt like after the CBS News and the Fox News hits that Erika did, it was, my understanding was that they felt that it was a good idea to bring the temperature down first by having us sit down and communicate. And that doesn't mean that they necessarily say, oh, well, that's it. Now we're not going to have any other public discussion. I'm hopeful they will. I think they should. I totally agree with you. More transparency, the better.
Who else was in the meeting? Erika was there. Who else was there?
Justin Strife, who is the COO of Turning Point USA, and my husband was only there for a portion of it, and my cousin.
So there were no lawyers, for example?
No lawyers. But they did phone their lawyer because I asked the question. I was like, look, I'm open to being wrong, obviously. If there is something, which I think the media was kind of hinting at, that they had more, but they couldn't share it with the public, I said, I'm happy to keep my mouth shut, and I want to feel good walking out of here that there is something there. There is some sort of a smoking gun, and I will tell viewers just to be patient. And so they did call one of the lawyers working on this case, and it was not convincing at all. He said, in effect, all we have is what the public has seen, and we won't know more because we're investigating and looking for more. And so that just made me go, why is everybody being so over the top and ridiculous and using words like the evidence is overwhelming? It was Tyler Robinson, when they don't have anything that's overwhelming to show that they don't have a video of him taking the shot, which I think was something that I assumed, like, okay, there's all these cameras, maybe they actually have that video and they're waiting for a moment to release that to the public. They don't have that. Or at least I can say Erika's side has not seen that. And the lawyer communicated to me that they would not have access to that until.
Bro, I'm gonna just be honest. I've seen like 6 different videos of 6 different potential shots at Charlie Kirk that day. It is overwhelming though. I'm gonna just be on their side with that, Candace, because what video is true? Like this is really, this is the kind of thing that's really it's a really touchy situation. But on top of that, he has so much hate that somebody who just don't like him could just make a video and make it seem like he was shot in that way. And that's what I'm saying. I've seen so many different videos. It's probably not even 6. It's probably more than that. I've seen so many videos where it's like, it wasn't the guy who they got, it's another guy, or and it was done by this little small gun by a guy on the side with his hand to the side. Bro, I've seen so many videos, bro, and it's just like, when are we gonna get to a point where it's like, okay, like we got the video, we got the guy in the act. I don't think it's hard for them to come to that point. It seems like it's really hard because they confusing the fuck out of the masses just on TikTok alone. So
earliest would be May. That right now they're just investigating, just like we're doing back at home.
Okay, you said that your motive for going to the meeting was that you would be able to come out and tell the world Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. So are you in a position to say that? Do you believe, as a consequence of your 4.5 hours with Erika, do you believe that it is now most likely that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk?
Absolutely not. I haven't seen one piece of compelling evidence that Tyler Robinson scaled the rooftops like Spider-Man on a college campus that he didn't go to and fired one shot, a magic bullet shot, and killed Charlie Kirk. I have not seen one piece of compelling evidence. In fact, I've seen more compelling evidence to the contrary.
You've seen their vibrant ads illuminating billboards and train stations for many years. Now it's time.
What she's trying to say is that the company could have potentially made him the scapegoat in this whole thing, and that Yeah, but this is the thing. Even if what she's saying is true, you are not gonna find Candace. You're not gonna find the evidence. If these motherfuckers really did kill him, like you say, right? And they put the other dude as a scapegoat, man, you know them, you know they did everything to make sure that it don't look like that. Everything. And unfortunately, he pissed off his own people at that point. Charlie pissed off his own people. And it's unfortunate, bro. That's unfortunate. But yeah, Candace, you're not about to find it by yourself. I get what you're saying. I get what she's trying to even do. But Candace, you gotta understand you're way over your head at this point. Like, even I know that. You might find something down the line, 7 years, 8 years. I guess however long it take you find something, but Lord Jesus, Candace. That's a big pill to swallow, bro. That's by the time you find something, the person already gonna be long gone. I'm telling you.
You actually saw the show. Shen Yun is celebrating. Who just?
In this video, I'm gonna remake.
Yeah, the person gonna be long gone. By the time you find something, Candace, the person already gonna be damn near president or some shit. You know, I'm just saying.
Killed her husband.
Who do you think?
Well, I think that in her recent PR blitz, she sort of communicated that she trusted her team, and her lawyer was using kind of the same rhetoric that the media has been using, where there's really, this is like, it's overwhelming. Maybe he didn't say the word overwhelming, but he was like, it's very clear, I think is what he said in particular. And then I pushed back and I said, what's clear?
Right.
The affidavit? Right. That's all you guys have?
He said it was
and
clear.
I did tell him, if you would never be my lawyer.
Never.
Because it's just, a lawyer that's just kind of giving you adjectives, and I don't need a cheerleader. I need someone to be practical and to say, we don't have anything yet. I think the communication should be, we are hopeful that throughout this investigation, we are going to uncover more evidence that links Tyler Robinson to this crime. I do feel confident that he was involved in some capacity on that day. As I have said many times on my show, I was the one who broke the story that he was at the Dairy Queen throwing out clothes, a local Dairy Queen, throwing out clothes in a nearby cemetery. And so I do think he was involved, and multiple people were involved that day. And I think he did pick up clothes. I had communication with Lance's family. I had communication with Tyler Robinson's family. And for some reason, Lance is being protected, which I find to be very strange. His own family thinks he's guilty of more, and they find it weird that the feds kind of glossed over him, almost as though he was a Fed operative, like he was working on behalf of them. And we've caught the feds have lied a lot. It's just a fact. Turning Point USA people have lied a lot. That is a fact, which they have agreed to. They said that these were mistakes, but they, whether a mistake or not, the public was lied to. So this obviously, matters deeply to me, and it's just absurd that people would think that I'm doing this for clicks. I know Charlie. I knew Charlie. Charlie and I were very close, and it has been one of the most disgusting things ever that people first and foremost tried to start this psychological operation that Charlie and I hadn't spoken since 2019. They've lied about virtually everything that I've said on my podcast. I'm not going to let this go. Okay. I can't, we don't live in a country that is the embodiment
when
of.
a black woman say, I'm not going to let it go. Oh, bro. Get out her way, dog. Get out her way, dog. She about to find who did this. It don't matter how heavy she's saying. It don't matter how heavy. It don't matter what she got to do. She's gonna find out. Let her, hey, get out of her way, bro. Like, that's all you got to do. I see it. Look at her face. Oh my God. I see it in her face, bro. That's her friend, bro. Damn. I'm gonna have to pray for her. Cause like the seriousness in her face, that being her friend, she's already found a lot of stuff. There's some stuff that she just said that I didn't even, the lawyer had something to do. Oh man, look, I'm gonna just go ahead and keep playing it.
Of democratic principles, if Charlie Kirk gets publicly executed and the media apparatus is doing everything they can to cover the tracks, I would say to cover the tracks by demanding that there is no further inquiry into what happened on that day.
All right,
that is not a
but the
country
thing, okay,
that I
but
can get behind.
Let's get to some of the details, because it seems to me you've put up a lot of theories, but a lot of them don't seem to have a clear conclusion from you about what you actually think happened. I mean, you've been all over this now ever since Charlie was killed. What do you believe happened to him? Who do you think killed him?
Let's go.
So I can't tell you definitively who pulled the trigger. I'm not going to lie to audiences and just put something out there that's not real. But what I can say is I feel convinced that the feds were involved. I can tell you that. I think the feds were involved in staging a cover-up. I think Kash Patel knows what happened and did not happen on that day. I am convinced by me being told by people that are feds that he is not acting right and that he is not wanting to share any information. Just a couple of people are allowed to even see anything. A Fed told me that they can't even touch the Charlie Kirk file without risk of being fired, and that he's grown increasingly mad. The U.S. Marshals that were there when they were doing the quote-unquote manhunt for 33 hours said that Kash Patel effectively sent them on a wild goose chase, which is what was signaled to the public when he said, we got him, and it was actually the wrong person. And so it caused people to stop looking because they were convinced that they had the shooter. They felt that that was in order to allow the real perpetrators of the crimes to get away.
But that could just be the fog of the immediacy of these things.
Look at the dumb nigga. That's not the fog. If they put it in the forefront when they said that old guy who they put in handcuff, oh, we got him. That is telling people who are there to search, or people who is watching and their families to search, that they can have a conversation now and say in the public or to themselves, because it was in the public, they caught the guy already. Don't worry about it. That's what she's saying, bro. And that's what I was saying earlier. Candace, you got to be careful, baby girl. You got to be careful. And look at, bro, every time you see her face, bro, she is serious about, but it's just like, bro, what is she going, but Candace, what are you going to do? Okay, you going to uncover you've uncovered already some nuggets, right? Candace, what you going to do to move the needle to get it's not going to happen. It's going to happen like within 8 years. And by that time, they're going to be damn near president or gone. So how about, what if we just say you're right? Yeah, she ain't going to want that. She ain't going to want that. Candace want the name. She won't. And I think Candace is like feeling like Erika should want this too. But I think you share a different relationship with Erika, because Erika got his kids. So she got to focus on being mentally strong for them. If you're going to do this wild goose chase, which could lead to something because you got already nuggets, then do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Erika should have told her to stop, but I do understand why she told her to stop. Like I said, she got to be mentally strong for those kids. So she don't have time to be trying to be pulled. If I'm sure though, if Candace is able to find like concrete evidence, she will probably be right there behind her.
We've seen it at Brown University. Exactly the same thing. They thought they had the killer. It turned out to be the wrong person. Right? It doesn't mean there's any great conspiracy by the feds to cover anything up. And again, even if what you're saying is true, I don't know. Maybe you're right. If what you're saying is true, what is it they're covering up? You've so far intimated or inferred something weird involving Egyptian planes.
See, hold on. He knows, right? And I know he knows, so don't even try to. He knows if she say if she's accurate at all, she's dead. If she's accurate at all and says it on here, and she said, I'm sure, she's dead. Candace is smarter than that. She's not going to do no shit that can, like, provoke somebody enough to want to kill her. She wants to have some nuggets of proof. That way, if you do kill her, she already said it all. You feel me? with the proof. She's not gonna say nothing without no proof. Don't. But dudes like
So,
that.
well, you know, what's that about? You've inferred perhaps Israeli involvement in some way. You've certainly inferred a lot of Turning Point USA involvement. That's a lot of people getting involved here in the murder of Charlie Kirk potentially. But what I'm really curious about is, given you've been all over all this and you've been airing all these theories, well, which one is it? It can't be all of these things. Is it somebody?
Well, of course
is it someone at Turning Point USA? I mean, who do you actually believe was behind this?
Of course, it can be all of those things. And what's really ironic here is that there's a clip of Charlie in the last months leading up to his death where he speaks about the JFK assassination. And he says that multiple countries were involved, multiple people were involved, the LBJ was involved, the feds were involved. And he's correct. That is what it means. When there is a conspiracy, there are multiple people that are involved. Of course, there's not one person on a grassy knoll who shot JFK.
Well, it might have been that.
There are people who had to agree to it. There had people who would have had to. The Dallas police were involved.
Candace,
I'm answering your question. But my point is, why aren't you just going to point to one person? That to me, even that seems like a part of telling people not to believe their own gut. Obviously, for this to have been pulled off, there had to have been multiple people involved. There had to have been.
You can't publicly execute somebody. You can't publicly execute somebody without multiple people involved in the climate, especially when it comes to public stuff like that. You cannot do that. Exactly what Charlie Kirk said about JFK. We got the real video now. We know now that the other video that was broadcast was manipulated with CGI from way back in the day. We seen it. It's all out now. We don't even got to talk about it, right? So the fact that Mr. Piers is trying to make it seem like it should be one person is a dodo head.
People at Turning Point that were complicit in having this happen. Now, who knows what their motivations are? Doesn't mean maybe this person's like, hey, I'm going to help you.
Hang on. Okay, let me stop you. Hang on. When you say obviously somebody at Turning Point, you are accusing right now people that worked with Charlie Kirk at the company he built, which is now run by his widow. You are directly accusing people in that company of being complicit in his murder.
It could have been.
Right?
Yes.
I want to just be very clear connecting that dot. So I said that when there is a conspiracy, of course, there are going to be multiple people involved. So applying that same logic to JFK, right? Knowing, as I do, and as Charlie did believe that LBJ was involved, which then implicates the feds as having been involved, which then implicates the Dallas police station as being involved. I believe Israel was obviously involved, that they were the ones that wanted him dead for saying that what is now AIPAC should have to register under FARA.
And they got the most money to do it.
So there's motive. There are people that have to be involved on the ground that day. There are people that have to be willing to allow the perpetrators to get away. There has to be media that's complicit. And that's what literally Operation Mockingbird was. It was established to persuade the public.
Candace, here's the problem.
Well, hang on. It was established. So
but here's the problem with everything you're saying.
In this massive cover-up.
You keep saying, and this is where people think you're prone to endless conspiracy theories for whatever reason. Is you keep using the phrase, they have to have been involved. So by that yardstick, what you're saying is, with JFK's assassination, and we recently had a lot of the files released, which did not conclusively prove any of these things, right? Now, again, I don't know what happened to JFK, but the one possibility you've not ruled in is it was just as simple as Lee Harvey Oswald. It might have been. We don't know. Right, so when you say the media has to have been involved,
please don't, bro, because this, it shows so much how Piers is so uninformed, bro. You haven't done your own research and blah blah, and I get it, right? He's the face of people who don't understand this shit. He's the face of people who don't do research. And that's who we're arguing with right now. We're arguing with those type of people. So cool. That's why Candace is right now about to be like, look, I'm not about to entertain this bullshit, but yeah, everything is out, bro. Like, you can go online and just search it and find the altered video where the guy in the back seat did something. I ain't gonna say much more than that. So continue. Come on.
many decades.
Has to have been, but my problem is you're stating all these things as
fact. We can't do
fact.
63. It's such a nonsense to say that it was Lee Harvey Oswald acting.
You don't
by himself.
know that.
That's just such a nonsense. I do know it was not Lee Harvey Oswald acting by himself, and then that required national security to lock down the files, and that required the feds to impart, the CIA to impart Operation Mockingbird to convince the public that it was, you can't go against, there's a grieving widow, don't look further into it, don't believe your own eyes.
But let me just say, this is your, Candace,
it was a grand conspiracy that killed JFK.
Candace,
I am going to say that confidently. And I just think we have to grow up. We have to grow up. We can't keep pretending Lee Harvey Oswald killed JFK.
Fine.
We can't keep doing that.
That is your opinion.
Listen, it's called Connect Team, and it's insane. I don't do schedules or timesheets manually.
Yeah, bro, this is it's a shame how, but then again, they're not gonna put someone who's informed on a news station or whatever. Morgan Piers, uncensored. They're not gonna put someone who's, that one, because if he does know, then he's Alex Jones. So,
Is sponsored by Oxford Natural, makers of the Optimum Day and Optimum Night all night. It's an opinion.
No, that's a fact.
No, it's not a fact.
It's a fact.
It's not a fact.
It's a fact.
The whole reason there are still conspiracy theories about JFK's assassination is none of this is a fact. You are floating it as your theory.
Because the feds are never going to admit to their own crimes. That is the reason we're still discussing it.
That may be the case, but you can't prove that.
Yeah, well, I can prove common sense that Lee Harvey Oswald did not stand on a grassy knoll and assassinate a president. And LBJ, like Charlie says in that clip, which people should go pursue.
Yes, I know Charlie
all
said
of the
that.
weird things that happened that day that were unusual, and LBJ decided not to ride that day. And then suddenly he reversed course on all of JFK's policies, and he was fighting AIPAC. Israel killed JFK.
All right.
Now, going back to your point about Turning Point USA, and the ridiculous
As a
idea
fact,
that implicating, this is a $100 million organization. Common sense. If this was not even a high-profile political assassination, and this was just a guy who worked at a company that was $100 million, right? Common sense inquiry is, was there a financial motive for this person to be dead, okay? This is like Sherlock Holmes 101. And this is what I mean when I say that the public no longer trusts the media because you're acting us to be stupid. And we don't want to do that. We actually don't want to pretend that we're clinical idiots who can't assess things and go, oh, there could be a massive motive here to have Charlie dead, especially when it seems very strange that Bibi Netanyahu, when nobody even had a clue of what happened, this guy's doing the rounds on Fox News and saying, I didn't kill Charlie Kirk. That's kind of weird. Did you feel compelled to jump on to Piers Morgan's show and say, just so everybody knows, I didn't kill Charlie Kirk? Why would he say that? Why was he so involved as somebody who's fighting a 97,000 front war?
Candace, I want to get to the reality of what you're actually saying. So when you say that somebody at Turning Point USA, Charlie's company, was complicit in his murder, who was?
We're trying to find out.
I believe that there were multiple people at Turning Point who are, as I have said many times, my exact words are, they are engaged in a cover-up of what happened to Charlie on that day.
No, but who was involved in his murder?
I didn't say that they murdered Charlie.
You said that people at Turning Point were complicit in his murder.
No, my exact sentence that I said was that there were people at Turning Point who are engaged in a cover-up.
No, you didn't.
I believe that thoroughly.
Candace, you didn't say that. You said literally.
I did say that on my entire show.
You said there were people at Turning Point complicit in his murder.
Okay.
That's what you said.
When you and I were discussing, that's why I said, let's go back. I was applying the logic of a conspiracy to JFK. I said, okay, JFK, you have people that are complicit. Of course, if you apply that logic, if there is a conspiracy, there's going to be multiple people that are going to be complicit by the time, in order for a large stage murder to happen.
You specifically said, you didn't say complicit in a cover-up. You said complicit in the murder. Because I said, who at Turning Point was involved in his murder? And
let me clarify for you. Okay, you can keep saying what I said, or you can listen to what I am saying.
Okay.
When I was using the analogy of JFK and we were connecting it, I was basically pushing back on you because you were suggesting that, all of these people being involved would be crazy. So I was applying the analogy of what happened to JFK. Well, you actually, if you go back and listen,
I don't know.
Suggesting that a conspiracy.
I said you don't know either. You're floating theories.
When we started talking about the JFK thing,
listen, let me make it clear.
Piers, I really think you're not holding on to your thoughts
Candace,
here correctly.
let me spell out my thought very clearly.
When we started talking about JFK, the implication that you were making was that it was crazy to suggest that multiple people could have been involved at different levels. I was then connecting the dots and saying that in order for the JFK assassination to happen, there had to have been tons of people that were complicit.
I understand.
Right?
I heard what you said.
Maybe you're the person who takes the cameras down. Maybe you're the person that told him to drive that day. Maybe you're LBJ. So they're not all complicit in the murder, but they're all at different varying stages involved in the cover-up. Right? So that's what a grand conspiracy actually is. And I do believe, so you don't have to go back and we don't have to go through it. I'm telling you what I think about Turning Point. You know, I am very known for being honest about what I believe. You're not, I'm not exactly a person that you got to pull teeth on.
Sure.
I believe that there are people at Turning Point who are engaged in covering up what happened on that day.
But were any of them engaged in the planning of the murder of Charlie Kirk?
I wouldn't know how it was planned. Absolutely, I can't make that. I cannot confidently make that statement. I can say confidently that I know they're engaged in the cover-up because I've been investigating what happened on that day and what transpired thereafter. I've been clear. I've named those people on my show. I've said they are engaged in a cover-up, and I've listed the lies. So you don't have to try to make something out of what I didn't say. I tell you what I think. It's already controversial. We don't need to get more controversial, okay? Do I think someone at Turning Point pulled the trigger? No. Obviously, I don't think someone at Turning Point pulled the trigger. We don't even know who did pull the trigger. So how can I say that they're...
Did anybody at Turning Point, in your opinion, know that Charlie Kirk was going to be murdered?
There is specifically 2 people at Turning Point USA, and I have communicated that information to Erika and Justin Strife, that I would not be surprised if they had foreknowledge of Charlie Kirk being assassinated.
But do you have any evidence
I'm not going to name... I am not going to name those people, okay, because it's not right for me to name those people until I know for a fact that they did.
That's what I was trying to say before. Why the hell would I name the devil? Hey, I ain't trying to get, you know what I'm saying? So, boom, that's what I'm talking about. But she's obviously saying that there's people involved, bro. And she's told Erika. So...
Did you give the names did you give the names to Erika?
Yes. So I absolutely did.
You gave the names to Erika of 2 employees, current employees at Turning Point, who you believe were involved in the preparation for the murder of Charlie Kirk. Is that what you're saying?
I told them that if I were in your shoes, these would be 2 employees that I would look further into. That's
and what evidence do you have that they had any prior knowledge of the murder?
Because I don't have concrete evidence is the reason why I'm not naming them. So I've been
so you've got
responsible.
no evidence,
not saying,
but you're telling the widow that these 2 people may have been involved in the murder. But you see the problem.
Well, what the evidence for it is people that there was not concrete evidence. It's like you're trying to get me to say something that I never said and then asking me to defend it.
No, I'm asking what evidence
let's
you've
actually
got.
go to. You're asking me privately. Did I communicate to them that I think you should look further? That's called an investigation, Piers. Okay. So what you're doing is a strategy of like if somebody dies, you're saying to police, you can't ask any questions about anybody unless you have concrete evidence. We're at the stage of investigation.
I'm not saying
yes,
that.
you can.
I'm
and
not
let me
saying
give
that.
people in the public the permission to do this. Follow your instinct. If you feel something is off, keep asking questions until you get concrete evidence. And when you have concrete evidence, you should name those people. I don't have the concrete evidence.
You have named other people.
I find there inconsistencies.
Okay. But you have named other people.
I'm trying to answer. Piers, you can't ask me questions. You can't ask me questions. Let me finish it. I have communicated to them that their inconsistencies make me uncomfortable. I have communicated to them that somebody else who is a third party gave me some information that I am not yet comfortable as I am vetting it, giving it to the public because that's the responsible thing to do. These are private citizens. And that if I were in their shoes and had more access to information, I would go down that route, okay? Unless I am fully confident that they actually did have something to do, like here is the smoking gun, I'm not gonna name those people. Okay. But the people I have named thus far are people that I believe are engaged in a cover-up. Like I said, hold me accountable for what I have said.
Let's talk about one of those people. Let's talk about one of those people because the Turning Point producer Blake Neff wrote this in early December. Ever since Charlie's murder, Candace Owens has leveled a flood of allegations against people at Turning Point USA, people at Turning Point Action, and people who work for the show. She has made them against some of Charlie's closest friends and against some of his most dedicated employees. She suggested that Michael McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff, knew Charlie would be murdered, was happy that he died, and stayed silent because he was told he would be the next Charlie. Now, let's move then to, you said in your podcast that new information was...
As soon as he said the name, she said, fuck. All right, bro. We know. All right. All right. All right. So he sent a letter, right? So he wanted her to say the name. She didn't say the name. He said it from a letter. She could be still safe. It's not funny.
Given to you in your meeting with Erika Kirk about Mikey McCoy that's now satisfied you. On a video on the 27th of October, you devoted a whole episode to this guy and his supposedly strange
I never said
behavior.
I have information that satisfied me about Mikey McCoy.
Well, I'll ask you to clarify. Okay, well, you can clarify that in a moment. But let's hear what you said about Mikey McCoy before the meeting.
So we decided to slow this clip down, and we're going to watch this clip slow down so you can see that it is exactly 834 milliseconds from the time that you hear the shot. That is how long it takes for Mikey McCoy to put the phone to his ear. Now, why is that precise timing so important? Because there's no dialing. Mikey didn't have time to dial, okay? You can't dial and put your phone to an ear in 0.834 seconds.
Now, what was the new information that you got in your meeting with Erika about Mikey McCoy?
So I'm sorry your gotcha is not going too well, but I never then said, I am now satisfied that Mikey put the phone to his ear. What I presented to the public, it was what
I
Erika
didn't say
gave to
that.
me.
Sorry, just to clarify.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, you did say you have
inferred on
information
your
that's satisfied.
podcast. Well, let me give you the chance to clarify. It's a very familiar story when it comes to debt. The banks win, you pay. Fees and phone calls pile up every month unless you fight back. PDS debt has helped hundreds of thousands of people cash Piers.
Excuse me, what is the most amount of money you made?
This shit heavy, bro. This shit heavy. I see what she's talking about because that's like part of them. That could be like him, like, okay, ready for the shot. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what she's talking about.
After the meeting with Erika, that you'd received new information about Mikey McCoy, which had changed your mind. Would that be the best way to categorize it, or changed some of your mind?
No, I never said that. I just presented it. Well, the only thing that I clarified on my podcast, if that's what they're getting wrong, is that some people thought that he was using a nickname that was his middle name, and actually his real name is Michael, like first name Michael, because I was like trying to find something, and I was like, oh, maybe he's actually using his middle name. So that's what I clarified on my podcast.
And you were given
Beyond
call
that,
logs, is that right?
Presented.
You were shown call logs? You were shown call logs?
They gave me a printout of Mikey's call logs, and I gave it to the public. That's it. I mean, they're saying this, and then the public obviously comes back and says,
So do you
well,
believe
how do we know
Mikey
that these
McCoy had any prior knowledge of Charlie's murder?
I can't say that he had prior knowledge of the murder unless I have something concrete. I can't say anything about prior knowledge. What I can say is what happened on that day. Mikey's behavior is weird on that day. I find it weird, like I said in the podcast yesterday, that what has been communicated to the public is like he called Erika instantly. First thing he did was call Erika instantly. And that's actually the call logs show that he didn't call Erika instantly.
But what are you suggesting about this guy?
He called his wife instantly, and then he had 3 ways.
As you know, when you've got a massive platform,
and then showing
Candace,
his call logs showed that Blake Neff actually didn't tell the truth about what happened on that day.
But here's the problem, Candace. You have a massive platform, as you know. Millions and millions of people hang on your every word. When you devote a large part of an entire episode to the strange behavior of Charlie Kirk's chief of staff, you are putting a target on the guy's back. You're inferring it has something to do with this, or something to do with some cover-up, or whatever it is you're inferring. You know what you're doing when you do that. When you saw Erika Kirk, did you say to her that you believed there's something suspicious about Michael McCoy? Was she able to explain to you why there isn't? Or does she share your view that he is somehow complicit in this in some way?
Well, we actually dedicated more time to speaking about his father, who I think it's strange to me that that man calls himself a pastor. I communicated fully that everything about that man makes my skin crawl. I think he's a bad person. I think he's involved with bad people. And this is obviously, like, Mikey's a son. And, I asked a bit about Rob McCoy and Mikey McCoy's relationship. I would just like to be clear. I have never, I am not going to be emotionally conditioned to believe that asking questions when we aren't getting any answers is the crime itself. The crime was when Charlie got shot in the neck. So,
but you've already said, you've already said though, you told Eric.
The easiest way to remove,
yeah,
the
Candace,
easiest way, let me finish. You can't ask me questions, not let me finish
You're
my statement.
contradicting what you've just said to me.
But you have to.
You said to me earlier,
What did I contradict?
You said you gave 2 names of people in the turning point. organization that you believe are complicit in some way. You gave those names, but you wouldn't name them because it wouldn't be right to do that. But you did name this guy, Mikey McCoy, who was the chief of staff.
Because
Why?
his actions are strange. You're two different things. I really, Piers, I think you're having trouble holding on to two buckets of thought here, okay? Really you said, in regards to someone that was complicit in murder, that is a very serious allegation. I gave them names of people that would not surprise me if they did have foreknowledge of Charlie Kirk's murder. You are now shifting gears and you're asking me about Mikey McCoy and why I am raising red flags about his behavior on that day. Because I believe his behavior on that day was weird. I think it's painfully obvious that his behavior was weird. I don't know people that don't duck when a shot comes down.
Complicit?
So I'm pointing, I'm sorry that I have eyes, and I am agreeing with the public that Mikey McCoy's behavior was weird on that day. Okay, these are two different things. Now, if I'm going to make an assertion that somebody had something to do with planning this murder, I better be damn sure. Right. And I need, if I said that on my podcast, right? That's all I'm saying. I had never made that claim that Mikey McCoy planned Charlie Kirk's assassination.
No, I think like a lot of the claims you're making, it's difficult to work out what you're actually claiming. You're throwing a lot of mud in the air, including people's names, which immediately then has millions of people chasing after these guys on social media. And
you know, it's crazy when the police doing an investigation, right? This is the same thing they do. Like they would looking into something that's weird, and also if things are weird, they would suspect that person is a suspect. She's just doing that. Don't see, but then of course, you know, that's not the average.
I'm sorry they get caught lying. Like, I'm sorry, what is this? This is like, the public is actually being abused, okay? Let's stop pretending that the victim
are they, or do you just
Rob
want them
McCoy.
To think they are?
No, the public is being abused because you're basically saying, stop noticing that people at Turning Point USA are lying.
No,
How dare Candace and the public know? Yes, you are. How dare Candace?
When there's an emphatic repudiation of what you're saying.
If Mikey lies and Rob McCoy lies and Blake Neff lies, and yes, all of these people have lied on record after the assassination. And the public goes, hey, that's kind of a weird lie. You're like, how dare you put a target on their back by noticing that they're lying? I mean, what weird psychological operation is this?
Do you believe?
Lie.
Okay, but do you believe Erika Kirk has been lying about it?
About what?
No, I have been explicit on my show when people were saying, why aren't you attacking Erika Kirk? I said, because Erika Kirk has not lied. If to the extent that she lies, I will call it out. And that is why I did call out when she lied, okay? When she said Charlie Kirk never received any text messages the night before saying that he was worried about that he was going to get murdered tomorrow. I instantly said, well, here we have it. That's a lie. He definitively did send out text messages to both Dan Flood and Andrew Kova. And when we met in person, she clarified that, okay, yes, that's real. And we didn't know until you said it because he was using a different app and she was checking his iMessages. So to me, if you lie, you're going to make an enemy of me. Just don't lie. How about that basic requirement to say to people, don't lie about what happened on that day. Don't lie about what you did on that day, because that's the first clue to investigators that that person should be looked at further.
All
Again,
right.
this is common sense.
Okay, let's move.
Even you got to think about it. For a man to ask the question to whether that was his team or family members in a whole nother app to communicate, he had a suspicion. That's deep, bro. That's deep.
Move to something else Blake Neff said. He said, Candace has made other stranger allegations involving French paratroopers in maroon shirts, Egyptian Air Force planes flying out of Provo, Utah, and potential underground assassins traveling through unseen tunnels. At one point in early November, she started wildly throwing suspicion on members of Utah Valley's soccer team for wearing hoodies. I could go on. There's always something new coming up. None of it ever pans out because from the start, there's been nothing there. What do you say to that?
He's lying, and that's the reason why Blake Neff is a suspicious character. I mean, him saying that I pointed to a soccer UVU person is complete fiction. I never had discussed that person on my show. Somebody was asking for a clearer photo of the person on X, and I shared it. No suspicion. Never said this person had anything to do with anything. I never covered him as a suspect on my show of anything at all. Didn't ask for more information on this person. That kid instantly responded and said, oh, those are our school colors, and that was it. And Turning Point tried to turn it into a thing. Why are you doing that? Regarding the Egyptian planes, that's a fact. Why are you saying she said that there was a military Egyptian plane on the ground that day? There was. In fact, there were two. So why are you pretending that that's like a weird thing
What
to
were they-
notice?
but you-
And that is
you're-
why people have
Okay,
been
but let me
flagged
ask you-
about these
okay.
planes. To his
Let
other
me ask you about the
I am never
planes.
allowed to answer a single question that you say in entirety before you move on to the next
Well, you
question.
can't just keep talking ad infinitum. I'm allowed to ask you another
No, it's
question.
called answering. You just read an entire statement
It's
of
actually
multiple
called
points of
it's called
blinks. I got to
filibustering.
the second point, and you're like, "Let me ask you a question."
No, I want to ask you. No,
Piers, you
I-
already asked me a question.
No,
I'm
I
trying
want
to answer the
ask
question that you asked.
No, I want to ask you a follow-up specifically about the Egyptian planes, given you've now addressed it, which is, where is the evidence that any of these Egyptian planes were tracking Erika Kirk?
I am going to be publishing the full document because there's not even just 2 planes. There's actually 4 planes that have been flying in, and I should be more thorough because I realize that the
And
spreadsheet
tracking
I posted,
Erika
people,
Kirk.
not that. Let me. Can I just please, without you cutting me off, answer one thing? Okay, thank you. These
Piers.
Egyptian planes, more broadly speaking, now that we have gone deeper onto the planes, recognizing that the reaction to them is not normal, what we can say is that these Egyptian planes are tied to Israel. They've been flying in and out of Israel with their transponder off for years. But regarding the Turning Point USA picture, more broadly speaking, Turning Point USA faith, okay? Obviously, Erika has been involved in a lot of the church stuff. It's not specifically tracking just Erika. It's Turning Point faith events, broadly speaking. I gave that information as well. I told Justin Strife and Erika, I'm happy to give you this like color-coded spreadsheet. There's no question there's a correlation here between Turning Point USA faith in particular, which, by the way, from the beginning of this, I've said something is wrong with this faith contingent, especially because Rob McCoy for a while was heading up that department, and he makes my skin crawl. And so, yeah, I have the evidence for that, and we're going to actually publish it on our website.
All
So
right,
there
but
can
I
be
can't-
no
okay.
question, which I should have done
All
from
right.
the very beginning.
But let me ask you.
Showing that these planes were tracking Charlie at various times there where Erika is, various times there where Rob McCoy is, but the consistent thread here is faith events, like Kingdom to the Capitol tour.
Assuming you're right, and I don't know, but I know Erika Kirk, when asked about this, said on CBS, if you want to go through my flight log, go right ahead. It's very boring. You, Candace, say I was here on this date. I have a photo on my phone to prove I was actually in hospital having contractions. So that's one thing she's directly repudiated. But let's assume for a moment you're right, and that all these Egyptian planes were flying around tracking Charlie Kirk and Turning Point, Faith and Erika Kirk. Why? What is your theory?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
what's
know.
your theory then? You must have an
my
idea.
theory
what they...
is that we should investigate everything strange that happened on that day so we can figure out what happened.
But are you
It's literally
suggesting
just
that
called an
are
investigation.
you suggesting
why is everybody
Egypt?
why are we pretending that we don't know why we ask questions? Like, why? Like, you're a journalist.
But you
You
have
know
a
what this
theory.
is. You're like, what's going on? What's
What's
going
your
on? Why do you
theory?
want to know why these planes were tracking Charlie? Well, my theory is that we are being sold absolute Fed slop.
All right. I think the point is being made. The girl ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna end the video here. Cause yeah, I think the point has been made. Oh, we didn't even finish. I'm gonna go to this because he was talking about Nicki. But I'm done with this video. The point has been made. I'll end it with this right here. Let's see what he was talking about.
Nicki is. I mean, she did everything but put on that MAGA hat and do that little Trump dance.
Well, I think she has a hat out now. The Barb's hat. I just saw somebody post it up. It was somebody from that organization.
Oh, he's a Barb.
And Turning Point, or it might have been the White House. I don't remember. But she has a hat like "Make America Barbs Again" hat. So I don't know. I mean, she probably had a hat in her back pocket.
Oh my God.
So I mean, clearly we all know that her husband, for that matter, he's.
All right, I'm gonna cut it
what's
right
that?
here because my thing about with people with Nicki's husband and her brother, they fail to realize her brother is her brother for life. I know a lot of people out there would disown someone if they do something like that, but family is family, especially for a woman. A woman not gonna just cut you off. She's not. When it comes to family, it's just not gonna happen. They may be mad at you, but they're not gonna just cut you off. Even if anyways, I'm gonna just keep it right there, right? And then her husband, right? He did something happened when he was young. And it's sticky, bro, But for whatever reason, they're together. He proposed. She said yes. That's their personal business, bro. Whatever happens after that is what we really seeing. I mean, she got one kid with him. They still married. There's been this and that. I don't even want to go into that, bro, honestly, because and the reason being is because I just watched this 30-minute video of her doing an interview with Erika Kirk, and it was a beautiful interview. And I've been seeing people since before Christmas talking about she need to be deported and everybody hating Nicki Minaj. Did y'all watch this girl's interview? I don't think they have. All right, y'all. I'm out. It's been fun.